Will AIPAC and President Trump make an example of Congressman Thomas Massie? The whole world is watching Kentucky's 4th congressional district. Republican Thomas Massie is in the fight of his political career. This is now the most expensive primary race in American history. AIPAC and a range of pro-Israeli interests have poured at least $25 million, though Massie says the final tally could go well north of $30 million, to eject him from Congress and send a message to the political class. Why is the pro-Israel lobby willing to spend so much money to stop one congressman from being reelected to an 8th term of office? Could it have something to do with Israel's increasing unpopularity in the U.S.? Recent polling by Pew shows 60% of U.S. adults now hold an unfavorable view of Israel. That's up from 53% just last year. Even 41% of Republicans have a negative opinion of Israel. That number goes up to 57% if you leave out the boomers and just count the 18 to 49 set. Congressman Massie is currently the only Republican who represents that 41 to 57% chunk of the GOP with his willingness to vote against continued funding for Israel. As he said after one 2022 vote, "A majority of my constituents don't think Israel needs more of their money, so I voted for my constituents." He's at least consistent in his opposition to foreign aid, military interventions, and overseas spending of any kind. As he told Newsweek, "My position of no foreign aid might sound extreme to some, but I think it's extreme to bankrupt our country and put future generations of Americans in hock to our creditors." Votes against Israel have made Massie a marked man. The pro-Israel lobby, led by a trio of billionaires, Miriam Adelson, John Paulson, with his own entry inside Jeffrey Epstein's Little Black Book, and Paul Singer, have blanketed the airwaves against Massie. Funnily enough, for all of the ad money poured into Massie's district to unseat him, they never seem to mention Israel as a primary motivation. Instead, you get silly AI slop that shows Massie checking into a hotel for a three-way with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar. Other ads hammer Massie for insufficient fealty to President Trump. A last-minute sex scandal has been thrown in for good measure. President Trump has also turned on Massie, throwing his support behind former Navy SEAL Ed Galreen. Trump says Galreen is right out of central casting. "This is the guy I'm looking for. Just give me somebody with a warm body to beat Massie." Reports from Kentucky suggest he's little more than a warm body, given to stumbling public statements and a total avoidance of debates. It's not hard to understand why Congressman Massie is on Trump's shit list. Massie's discharge petition played a key role in getting the Epstein files released. As Trump told Marjorie Taylor Greene, another co-sponsor, he was against the Epstein files because his friends will get hurt. Trump and the pro-Israel lobby both want the same thing: a rubber stamp. This seems to go against Thomas Massie's nature. He's frequently a stone in the shoe of the powerful. Some recent examples include his opposition to the war in Iran. He attempted to kill a kill switch feature coming online in all new vehicles in 2027. He fought to add constitutional protections into the blatantly unconstitutional FISA law, which allows government surveillance of Americans without a warrant. He moved to strip immunity protections from the German manufacturers of glyphosate, better known as Roundup. People watching this race want to know: will pro-Israel money claim another pelt and scare others, especially Republicans, from straying outside the bipartisan consensus? Massie embarrassed the country's largest Israel lobby, still mysteriously untouched by the 1938 Foreign Agents Registration Act, by revealing to Tucker Carlson that every Republican congressman has their own AIPAC person. Massie recently proposed a law to take away AIPAC's special status. It appears Massie's fight to stay alive has achieved symbolic power. If the Israel lobby comes out on top, what does that mean for American electoral politics? Plenty of Americans are already convinced of the meaninglessness of elections. How much more proof do we need before the pitchforks start coming out? This report has been brought to you from inside Kentucky's 4th District, on the banks of the Ohio River. Word to the wise that Kentucky Revised Statute 118.035 says employees must be given a reasonable amount of time to vote on Election Day. Kentucky also has some of the most restrictive voting laws in the country. If you or someone you know has been registered as a Republican since December 2025, please let them know that Massie is worth keeping around by voting in Tuesday's primary. Let's make them pay.